So in this video, we are going to be looking at the excretory system, which again is a part of a few systems that you have to learn in grade 9 during term 1. Okay, so what is the excretory system? It is responsible for the process that removes waste from the blood and regulates the body fluids. Okay, so now we're going to move to the main components of the excretory system, with the first being the artery that transports unfiltered blood with the waste to the kidney. Then we have the kidney, which removes waste from the blood. Then we have the vein, which transports filtered blood away from the kidney. Then we have the ureter, transports waste in the form of urine from the kidneys to the bladder. Then we have the urethra, which transports urine from the bladder to the exterior. Please do not get confused between the ureter and the urethra. There's a difference between the way you say it and the way you spell it, because I've seen a lot of people confuse the two. Just remember the ureter, it takes waste in the form of urine from the kidneys to the bladder. So it's kidneys to the bladder. Then the urethra is from the bladder to the outside. Cool. So now we're going to be moving on to the 4 main processes that occur in the excretory system, with the first one being filtration. The word filtration should not seem odd to you because you've done this before. For example, when you filter water, if you take water from like a lake or a dam that's very dirty, you can put it through some filter paper and it will filter it to make the water drinkable by separating the water, the stones, and all of the other stuff. So the same thing is going to be happening here, except it's with blood and waste products and water and all of that. Okay, so filtration. The waste products are carried by the blood into the kidneys, and then the kidneys filter the blood and waste products and water from the blood and move into the kidney tubules to form filtrate. So basically the kidneys act as that filter paper by basically separating the blood, the waste products, and the water. Then we have reabsorption, where some of the substances that are filtered from the blood are useful and most are reabsorbed back into the blood through diffusion. Okay, then hormones control the amount of water reabsorbed back, which creates the water balance in our bodies. Then number 3, we have secretion, where some waste products are still present in the blood after filtration. Like for example, if you're filtering water, it is drinkable, but you have to remember that it still contains some toxins in it. So the same thing happens here, where some waste products are still present in the blood after filtration, and then they are added to that filtrate, which happens where? During filtration. Then we have excretion, which is when the concentrated filtrate that contains the waste becomes urine. Then urine passes through the kidney, through the ureters to the bladder. And once there's a certain amount of urine in the bladder, pressure starts to build, and then that creates the urge to urinate. And then waste leaves the urethra, and then urination is controlled by the ring muscle at the base of the bladder. So just to quickly summarize the 4 main processes, waste products are carried by the blood into the kidneys, then the kidneys filter them by separating the waste products, the salt, nutrients, the water, and then they're moved to the kidney tubules in the form of filtrate. After that filtration process, there are still some useful substances in that filtrate, and then they are reabsorbed. The same thing happens with the blood, where after filtration, there are still some waste products in the blood that are then added to the filtrate. So that filtrate that contains waste products becomes urine, and the urine passes from the kidney through the ureters to the bladder. And once the bladder has got a certain amount of urine, it creates pressure and the urge to urinate. And then that urine, along with the waste, leaves the body through the urethra. And urination is controlled by the ring muscle at the base of the bladder. Unfortunately, with the excretory system comes health issues, with the first one being kidney failure, where the kidney is so damaged that it can no longer function. Remember why the kidney is important? It filters. So this can be due to injury, complications after surgery, a drug overdose, diabetes, and even high blood pressure. Toxic waste products and excessive water builds up in the blood, and that may cause death. Why does that happen? Because the kidney filters. So since the kidney cannot filter, obviously all of that is going to build up, right? And a person can be kept alive by dialysis, or they can have a kidney transplant. If you don't know what dialysis is, it's a process where blood is artificially purified using a kidney machine. So it basically does the work of the kidney, but it's a machine that does it. Then the second health issue we have is a bladder infection, and this occurs because the urethra is on the exterior or the outside. Bacteria can easily enter it. And symptoms of a bladder infection include lower abdominal pain, difficulty or burning sensation when you are urinating, and your urine might be cloudy. Bladder infections can be treated with antibiotics. Like, when you go to your doctor, they give you antibiotics. That is the way to treat a bladder infection. Then we have kidney stones, which is when solid crystals form when waste and salts do not dissolve properly due to insufficient water. I'm sure you've all heard your parents or adults saying, you're not drinking enough water, you're not drinking enough water. This prevents kidney stones from happening. Can you see? Because it's due to insufficient water. Large kidney stones can block the ureter, leading to severe pain in the side, lower abdomen, and groin. And symptoms of kidney stones include blood in the urine, cloudy urine, and difficulty urinating, again because it's blocking, right? And nausea and vomiting as well. Kidney stones can be treated by breaking them up using ultrasound waves, and then they are excreted with the urine, or they can be moved surgically. Surgically, normally when your kidney stones are like really, really large, very big, like to the point where they can't even be excreted. Okay. Hopefully this video will help you understand the excretory system much better. Bye!